YouTube! Welcome back to YouTube. The best format in the game just got better. Banlist, manlist, clanlist. This is going to change everything. Masado is saved. I haven't seen the list yet, but I have been informed by my associate and compadres that we're gonna want to look at this one. Let's have a look. See here for Masado's 2026 4th anniversary. How will we be celebrating? Let's begin. Unlimited to 3, we've got Phantom of Yubel. Ugh. The difference between 2 Phantoms and 3 Phantoms is probably not that big of a deal. So, I guess that's whatever. It's fine. I don't even know if you would play 3, would you? Okay. What else does Yubel have hit? They kind of have everything, right? I feel it. There's like a key card that's missing from Yubel. Has it just been power crept? There's like no way, right? Apollosa, I guess, is pretty important. Yeah, it's mostly like the end board stuff. Fair enough. Yeah, so actual Yubel cards, completely untouched. Fiendsmith is still engine. You've got, Aerial Eater. You still got a lot of cool things like that. So early Phantom is kind of basically just Apollosa if you squint hard enough, right? Okay, Yubel support. Did anyone want this? I don't mind. I like Yubel. Yubel's fun to play against, Yubel is a great deck for player 1. Player 2, Maiden of White. Well, as if we didn't have enough Caucasian women in Yu-Gi-Oh, we're getting another one. Another copy. I feel like hitting this card earlier in the year was a little bit redundant anyway. Like, they put Sage and Maiden, I think, to 2. Sage came back to 3 last list. Now Maiden is up to... It's like, I don't think Blue-Eyes ever really warranted the hit anyway. Like, it was solid and tier 1 for, what, like a month or 2? But let's be honest, that was never gonna last. But yeah, welcome change. It's nice to see Blue-Eyes come back to, ooh. I really hate board breakers like this in Master Duel because in best of 1 format, they're so obnoxious, man. An extra copy of Lightning Storm. Realistically, there's so much back row hate to play if you really want to in a best of 1 situation. Like, obviously, the big one that is circulating these days is Red Reboot because of Draco Tail. That card's at 2. Now you've got Lightning Storm as well. You're buffing Striker. You're buffing Tenpai. You're buffing Gem Knight. Decks that weren't really that good pre-list anyway, so I don't think 1 extra copy of Lightning Storm is going to make them even better. But listen, if you just invested in the Makanko alt arts, you're probably really happy about this, trust me. Okay. I just said okay. Okay. Oh my god. Dude, is this a yummy buff? Wait, hold on. Is this a yummy buff? Is Snake Eye yummy? This is so interesting. Snake Eye and the Jush decks have never been legal at the same time, as far as I remember, right? Like, Sinful's Balls is banned in TCG for a while. And then the OCG, I think there were some other things that they hit. OCG has full legal Snake Eye? Really? That's crazy. In TCG, OS is banned, yeah, but in OCG, I think it's... There's something else that's hit? Oh, man, I don't know. Dude, Snake Eye, that's interesting. I think the biggest problem with Snake Eye, unironically, not trying to defend Snake Eye or anything, is, like, the deck feels very... What's the word we're looking for? Weak into hand traps is not the word I'd use. But when Oak was banned, it made it way less consistent into hand traps. Now, the one thing that I guess is awkward is Nibiru, because there's no Apollosa, and I don't really know how this deck beats Nibiru. You've got Closed Moon lines into Caesar, I guess, and if you just leave Flamberge up, go through your Fiendsmith line, force out Nibiru through a threatening Caesar, you float the Flamberge into 2 level 1s, and then you make Link Rebo, and then yummy combo. Solved it. Solved it. Literally solved it. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, Snake Eye is so freaking back, baby. Snake Eye is so freaking back. How many bricks? None, right? Like, well, I mean, I guess if you count the yummy cards. But the yummies are all starters. I don't know. Nibiru's not real. Nibiru is like a weird card, right? Because Draco Tail's the best deck, so it's like unplayable versus Draco Tail. Unless your opponent goes like really crazy and like tries to like cross sheep turn one and shit. So I don't know, man. This is not good in a... I'm scared, dude. I'm scared. Oh my god. All right, semi-limited. We've got... Why are they heading Ryzeal to 2? Wait, Vanquish Soul isn't doing anything. I'm sure there's no possible logical reason for this. Yeah, who knows why that is. I'm not sure. Can you guys please stop posting my Kossi ID in the chat? Konami, I am going to tell you that there's no reason for this card to go to 2. I don't know why this is happening. Ooh, that's a Milano hit. Guys, I think your nose is going to belong to someone. Is it belonging to me or you? Is it your nose? My nose? Whose nose is it? We'll never know because now it's at 2. Wait, that's 1 for each nostril. This is an anatomical buff for the game. I guess it makes sense. Like, realistically, hypothetically, if we were to predict that Vanquish Soul is coming into the game, like it did in the TCG via the Josh decks, we are getting them drip-fed to us one at a time. Probably makes sense. The biggest thing I will say about K9 is it'll be really interesting to see what pre-hits they give. Will Holy Su be released at 3 copies? Or will Holy Su be released pre-nerfed? That's a big question. I think if Holy Su comes out at 3... Let me just see if there's any more Vanquish... Oh, okay. Just like, you know, minor kind of like consistency hits. If this is it, I think that deck is going to be like very strong, tier 1. They'll have to like... if there's no pre-hits, I think this deck is going to absolutely obliterate Master Duel. But then again, Yummy is like historically a good counter to the K9 deck, so, you know... Plus Snake Eyes back, and Oak is the best card ever printed, trust me. Alright, limited... No, okay, this is why I was told to look at the ban list. Alright, now it all makes sense, because this all felt very mid. No shot. OCG's still at 2, right? Maxi to 1? Oh my god. They actually listened. They're literally doing it. They understand. Maxi to 1. OCG is at 1. Yeah, it was very recently limited to 1. Now they're doing it in Master. I mean, I think it's pretty much all but confirmed at this point, right? Like, it's going. It's like, it's actually going. Can someone find some Japanese reacts to this? I need to see how the OCG players are reacting to this. Like, they're considering, like, they've had Maxi in their format, like, literally 10 years longer than us. And to see it now get dropped down to 1 copy, I don't want to say it's negligible, but 1 Maxi is pretty much negligible. 2 is relevant enough where you actually think about and pick a deck based off of Maxi. Like, if you were to enter a Duelist Cup tomorrow, you would probably, like, consider, like, okay, maybe I'll play Draco Tail over Yummy because there's just slightly more variance with having to just insta-lose to a Maxi. That's at 2 copies. But now if it's at 1 copy... Like, maybe that is a situation where you actually just ignore it. Like, you actually just ignore Maxi. You don't deck build around it. You don't pick an archetype based on it to counter it. Maybe Ash Blossom doesn't need to be at 3 copies. Although, I mean, Ash Blossom is just generically good in general because of Fualos and Rahu. But it does create an interesting situation where, like, you maybe just don't think about it anymore. Worlds format's interesting as well because shared card Maxi was pretty much always the standard for the last 3 Master Duel World Championships. Shared card Maxi, the random one-of, I don't think that's, like, worth shared carding anymore. So, at Master Duel, it was, like, shared card Maxi, shared card Ash, and then, like, 50-50, it was, like, shared card Call By. Some people played Tactics. I think one year there was a team that had Imperm. So this will be interesting for the World Championship meta as well. Like, we might actually see some diversity. Oh, wow. I need to take a sip of some tea here, bro. I need to think about this. Unbelievable. Shared card, Ash, Fua, Azuna. Shut up. What the heck? That is crazy. That's so random. Okay, I don't want to say random, but that is so interesting. You know what? I'm in 2 minds about this. On the one hand, I'm like, Ryzeal is actually completely fine. It is genuinely really, like, reasonable and fair. But then people realized, wait a minute, you know what else is a level 4 deck? Onomats. And then that deck is just unbelievable. Right? Like, it's just genuinely miserable to play against that deck. And you have Gravekeeper, Gravedigger's Trap Hole through the Trap Tricks and Cross. That's, like, insane. So now banning Cross, it's kind of odd. Like, this deck just feels like it has no way to beat Nib now. I mean, you still have the Gravedigger play, I suppose. Unless they've also banned Rafflesia, which I don't. Wait, did they ban Rafflesia last list? I don't think. Did they? I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to rely on Rafflesia if you're playing Ryzeal Onomat now. It's not. Sorry, are you guys really going to argue Ryzeal is like an unreasonable deck? I'm like, Ryzeal, just Ryzeal cards is like fine, okay? I'm sorry, you're a big baby if you're complaining about just Ryzeal. Onomat Ryzeal, I agree. That's a different story. But yeah, your Ryzeal hasn't existed for months. I didn't say it is. You're not listening to the words I'm saying. I'm talking about conceptually from a design perspective of the Ryzeal archetype. Are you listening? It would be helpful if you would listen to the words, you know? Anyway, is that everything? That's crazy. One ban and it's Cross. Ooh. Pure Ryzeal isn't real? Well, yeah, because why would you play Pure when you have Automat cards? Wow. Well, the biggest takeaways here is Oak is back, Maxx's limited, and Cross is banned. Those are pretty massive. Yep, that's huge. No Draco Tail hits is also worth talking about. So I think that Draco Tail, probably for now, is fine. I think they will want to address Draco Tail once K9 comes out. You'll have to see what happens with Draco Tail, Yummy, and K9 all being in the meta at the same time. That will be the thing that kind of decides where they go from there. It's still in the shop. I mean, okay, whatever. Like, that's irrelevant to the balancing that we're talking about here. It'll be interesting to see, like, what they do going forward. But, yeah, it's fun time. It's fun time for Mass to do. Unless you really hate Yubel and Snake Eye. Maybe they're back. Maybe they're back. Oh, that's crazy. That is actually insane. Freaking Oak is back to 3. What's missing from Macedo now? What would you guys say is missing? Is Macedo, like, good now? Or is TCG... Are TCG players going to stop complaining? What else do they have to complain about now? Tier limit? What do you mean tier limit? There's still one Maxi. Again, I think that one Maxi, there's a big difference between getting Maxied 7% of the time and getting Maxied like 15% of the time. Right? Like, that is like such a drop in bad non-games that it's going to feel so much better to play. Damn. They should have hit Malice more. Yeah, that's true. Hitler almost dead. Another surprising Konami W. I used to pray for times like this. One less roach. What the fuck? Crossban. One cockroach, another one. We did it, guys. One more left. Dracotail is going to be the only Just deck that was released at full power. Just one more. I always said the most annoying card in Ryzeal is Cross. But it's a bit late for Ryzeal hit anyway, is it? I wouldn't say it's too late, to be honest. Like, Ryzeal Onomat is, like, still, like, a good deck. Alright, well, anyone, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this Banlist reaction. We'll see you in the next format. TCG players, time to come home. Home would be TCG, to be fair, because that's where the game started. Actually, did you guys know that Macedo is so popular, they made it into a real-life game? That's crazy. Peace out. See you in the next one. Subscribe. Adios.